My mum introduced me to someone as Brendan the other day. I'm her only son, so I'm starting to think that maybe I'm not her only son. Hi, Mark. This is my son, Brendan. Like, what? Oh, anyway, this is Josh and Brendan. And
Review. Yeah.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, friends, and hello, foes, and welcome to the Comedian-Ons. It's a podcast we tried to start when we were young adults, and here we are, adults. My name is Josh, and joining me is Brendan, and he is here, and he loves the movie The Internet.
I do love the movie The Internet. Because my name is Brendan, I do lots of research because Brendans are known for research.
Yeah,
and I
they
found
are.
The Internet is the best movie. What's The Internet? Is that a movie?
When you made a comment on my...
Yeah, The Intern.
But
yeah.
it auto-corrected to the
Did it
Internet.
really?
Yeah.
The Intern is a great movie. It is actually about the Internet.
I didn't end up watching it,
It's about
but
an
I will.
e-commerce company.
Oh, that's very fun.
And the guy who I think is Tom Hanks, but it's actually Robert De Niro. Yeah, very, very
Again,
confusing.
he doesn't know many movies. It's okay.
Hey,
Jono, we've got a fantastic show today. I'm moving
Brendan,
on.
sorry, my name's Brendan.
Sorry, Brendan, we've got a great show.
Straight away, I want to get into some big topics, right?
Okay.
Meal kit delivery service.
Fantastic. I've had experience.
You've had experience.
You've had an
I've had
experience.
experience. And I want to talk. It's not going to be a roast. It's not going to be a gas up. It's going to be an honest, level discussion.
That's fantastic. After that, Jono, we're bringing back a segment that I don't know when we last did.
I'm so
In its
glad I know
original
more
form.
facts than I did then.
Yeah, it's
I'll
Funds
tell
Up,
you
Funds
my
Down.
thing with Funds Up, Funds Down.
Yeah.
We changed it. I'm like, oh, this is way better. I mean, we never changed it, but then suddenly out of nowhere it got way better. But the original, there's something about the original.
Well, I think that they're just two different forms of the same thing.
And it actually has nothing to do with the
Quality.
format. It
was just I wanted to try something different.
Yeah, that's right.
After that, Jono, what's happening?
I'm an old man.
You sure are.
It's something that I've always been an old man. I remember when I was 7, someone said I was 7 going on 70, and I think that's very true.
It really is.
But living by myself, I feel like I've got even older, even quicker. So I've got some little
fantastic.
prompters. I'm going to get Josh to rate if I'm old or not.
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna rate you on those. After that, Jono,
This is exciting.
last week after the show,
we were
message.
nutting one out together. We were.
I sent you a message,
Yep.
and I came out with I thought of a great idea.
You also thought of a shit idea.
Well, we don't care. We don't think about a shit idea.
Okay.
I think of a lot of ideas. I gave you another great one after that, though. Before this podcast, that was a good idea.
That was a good idea.
So I've got good and bad ideas.
Yeah, as
Those
long
are
as
the
you
two
have
forms.
1 in 5 good ideas. And it's a collaborative project we're going to be working on.
So we'll run through it at the end of the podcast,
And we're gonna get
And we'll
there.
see. This might take multiple shows to nut out.
I think so, but
We'll
it's
see how we
totally
go.
worth it.
Yeah.
I'll see you on the first slide.
Sure.
Meal kit delivery services,
Sure.
Joshua.
Should we play the intro first?
I tell you what, I was getting there.
Okay, sorry.
But you may as well do it.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't go. No, finish your spiel. Sorry.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
Meal kit delivery services, Joshua. You've been there.
I have.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Let's review.
Reviewing me, reviewing you. There is nothing we can't review. Reviewing me, reviewing you. We just have to face it. It's true. It's true.
Oh, let's review. Let's
I'm excited.
review.
What do you
So-
got for me? What have you got for me?
Do you want to explain to the people what a meal kit delivery
Sure.
service is?
I feel like if
people
you've
who
run-
haven't had them, I think there's like a misconception of what they
Right.
are.
Right. You might have seen on when you're on watching TV, who watches TV anymore,
Yeah.
or watching YouTube
It's
more likely.
Every YouTube
There's- you
fluencer
might
is
see an
sponsored
ad
by
for
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
Marley
or
Spoon,
Marley
Every
Spoon.
Plate, Denali.
And the idea is
Yeah.
these are a delivery system where you get sent a box.
Yeah, full of like groceries
A certain
and stuff.
amount of meals
Yeah.
that have been pre-portioned,
Yeah.
often pre-cut.
Yeah, that's right.
Not always, but sometimes
Yeah.
pre-cut.
It kind of
And you
depends
get
on the
sent-
service, I found.
Yeah, for sure. You get sent a box with a certain amount of meals in it.
Yeah.
And then you can
You make it yourself though. It's not like a Light and Easy or a
Exactly,
My
right.
Muscle Chef or whatever, where it's like pre-meal and then you
no,
just heat it up.
you'll cook it up
You have
together.
to cook it yourself.
So the idea
yeah.
is usually it's probably for someone who has the time to cook.
That's right.
But doesn't have the time to go out and get it, right?
Get it or time to like meal plan or whatever. They just sort of want it
and
laid out.
we both had our experiences with them. I did a bit last year.
You're a HelloFresh man.
I tried it.
And I've been an Every Plate man, which is owned by HelloFresh, but it's like the Aldi tier, right?
Right, yeah.
The main differences I've noticed between when you did HelloFresh and Every Plate, HelloFresh, there was more stuff that was kind of already done. Like it might have been chopped or shredded or something. Was that HelloFresh?
No, it was all.
So HelloFresh, it's the same.
A whole onion. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. It must be Marley Spoon is the one.
Maybe.
One of them, the really expensive one. I think it's Marley Spoon. Like if you're making a coleslaw, it's like the vegetables are pre-cut. I don't like that shit, right?
Well, Marley Spoon's a weird name. Can we just go aside to this for a second?
What is Marley?
A Marley Spoon.
It's got to mean something.
I've got two references from that I don't think either.
Marley and Me.
Marley and Me. And Bob Marley. And I don't think either of those really work.
I always think of like a reggae chef like cooking or something. So
neither of them make sense.
So maybe that is. All right. So HelloFresh and Every Plate, then they seem pretty similar, which is probably good. So I've been with it. I don't like it. I cancelled my subscription after a month, and I'm going to go into the reasons why. So the first reason I want to get into, I want you to look at this and tell the people what it is, and just a rough description of it. We're going to go through about 3 or 4. Yeah.
I've been given a recipe card. You get these with
like an A4 sheet.
An A4 sheet
with the recipe on it.
It has a big thing that says every plate on it.
It's quite nice.
And it says
the recipe card. Yep.
And it says veggie packed pesto risotto. Mm-hmm. Questionable name, but whatever.
Name me 3 or 4 main ingredients in that dish.
I see zucchini.
Yep.
Sweet potato.
Yep.
Brown onion.
Okay, great. Is there like a carbohydrate in there?
Yeah, there's rice.
Okay, great.
Rice.
Now, I'm going to give you this one. Can you name some, what the dish is and name some key ingredients?
So, this is one that's called roasted tomato and veggie penne.
Yep.
With parmesan. I see carrot, zucchini, brown onion, tomato.
Is there a carbohydrate?
Yeah, penne.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to give you another one. Would you name to the people what this is and some of the key ingredients?
Oh, what do you know? This is another risotto. I see risotto, tomato, zucchini, brown onion, and arborio, right?
Okay, great. I'm going to give you another one. Would you be able to say to the people what this is?
This is this is different. This is totally different. It's cheesy roast veggie risotto.
Okay, would you be able to name some of the key ingredients?
Yeah, interesting. I see zucchini, carrot, brown onion, and risotto.
And do you know what risotto is?
It's pasta.
It's pretty much rice, though.
It's both. It's somehow between the both.
So, do you notice any key ingredients that are not in any of those dishes? Protein. Now, that's my major issue I had.
Yeah, wait. That's
Every
weird.
plate took all the love of cooking out of it for me because all these dishes were exactly the same. It's 3 vegetables. It was either sweet potato you had 5 vegetables. It was onion, sweet potato, carrot, zucchini, and tomato. All of those dishes have 3 of those 5 ingredients.
Right. Yeah.
And what it was, every single time, it was chop them up, put them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes, olive oil, salt, pepper, and all-purpose seasoning that they provide for you, which I'm pretty sure is garlic powder and cumin or something. And then you heat your rice or risotto in a pot, and then you combine it together later on. Every single meal was exactly the same. So I wasn't even cooking by the end of it. It was literally just chop, 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 bang, 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 put it in. Boring as all fuck.
I bet it'd be different though if it was meat as well, right?
If it was meat, okay, I've actually got an example. I thought this argument might come in. All right.
No, only because I think that they, for some reason, care more, but I'm interested to see.
How it works, what they do is it's a vegetarian thing and then they add meat as a separate one. That's the sort of appeal of every plate.
This one I've been given.
So if you look at the ingredients down in the bottom corner in the blue square there.
Yeah, I saw these on the other ones. This one says chicken breast.
Yeah.
The other one said chicken breast.
Chicken breast. This one is beef mince. So what it is, they add it as like a separate step, and if you want, you literally just heat it up and then add it.
So you get meat with it.
If you choose to have the meat, you add it in, and what it is, the meal isn't any different. You literally just cook it up separately and combine it. It's the same thing.
Oh, look at that!
It's
it literally is just that.
Yeah. So if you're a vegetarian, bad luck with getting protein.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Now there are some that do. There was chickpeas, right?
Okay.
And then there was also lentils and stuff as well. So it's not all like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want 90% of my meals to not have any protein in them.
Yeah, you kind of need that, I'm pretty sure.
That's not a vegetarian meal.
No, it
if
isn't.
It doesn't have any.
No.
Sure, have a cheeky meal with no protein in every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
But not every day. My other problem with it, right?
Yeah.
Big problem. The meals without protein, not enough for 2 servings.
Really?
So that's what it was meant to be. The stuff that did, I couldn't finish like 2 servings. I've had leftover after that. Like if I was having 1 serving a day, I'd have leftovers of both. Without protein, I'd almost need to eat like 75% of the other one as well. So I feel like they're just doing real stingy shit.
Yeah, that's nuts. So rating wise, what are you giving them out of?
Okay, so give me some categories for what we've done so far. Yeah.
Let's go for like delivery service.
Okay, so service is good. Came when it said it was going to come.
Yep.
Every time. You got to pick, I think you would have done this for HelloFresh, sort of like when you want it to come.
Yeah, the period of time.
Yeah, the period of time. So you can get it delivered like really early in the morning, or you can get it delivered like during the day or whatever. So I picked during the day on a Sunday, and then the night before when we're recording the podcast, I'd always get a text and it would say, hey, your delivery is coming between 11 and 12 tomorrow. Every single time it would come in a very neat box. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 meal deliveries.
5 out of 5. Cucumbers, carrots,
brown onions.
Yeah, brown onions.
Okay,
so
good.
cucumber, carrot, zucchini, brown onion, and tomato it got for that score.
Let's go for taste in general.
Okay, taste in general, bland as all fuck. This is actually very interesting, right? I'm glad you brought this up. The first 2 or 3 times I made it, I'm like, this shit is so flavorful.
Yeah.
I love it. A couple weeks in, everything tasted the same because you use all-purpose seasoning.
Yeah.
There was 2 seasonings. 3. Jerk seasoning, which I said my mother put too much on my food, which explains a lot. Yeah.
That's really true.
A Persian seasoning, which was like any dish that was remotely ethnic, they'd put in Persian
Mediterranean.
Asian, whatever. And like, one of them is, I don't know where it is, it's on the floor. It was like an Asian stew and it had Persian seasoning in it.
My God.
And the other one was all-purpose seasoning, which is literally garlic, cumin and salt. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So because you're putting the same shit in every meal, doesn't matter how tasty it is, it all ends up tasting the same. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Because it gets the job
3
done.
out of 5 brown onions.
That's right. Gets the job done. But if you're cooking for the joy of it, you're not just cooking for survival. So you kind of want a bit more
Jono, what about
Yep.
fun?
I'm gonna give it a -1.
Yeah.
I actually fucking hate it. I would have preferred to microwave something. It would have given me more joy in life.
Ooh,
because I was literally just doing the same thing every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
Because with like higher end recipes, like if you get a cookbook or whatever, if something can be done the same as another recipe, the chef goes, it's worth it to give it like a little slightly different technique, even though it's more effort, because it's going to taste that 2% better. These kits, they go, we'll just make it easier.
And more specific to what you actually have.
That's right. Like if you're cooking a fritter, rather than cooking it in the oven, you might pan fry it first and then put it in the oven
for sure
to cook it all the way through. But this will just skip the first step and go straight to the oven. So those little things do make a difference. So the joy of cooking, not at all. I didn't appreciate it.
Price.
Okay. Price. This is a good one. So every plate for 6 meals. Okay. So three, what would you call it? 3 meals, but 6 serves, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I think it was $51 and that includes delivery. And that's pretty good. I was saying if I was to go to Coles and buy that stuff, it would probably come to around 35 to 40. So for only $10 extra, I'm going to give it 5 stars.
5 stars.
I think it's good.
Very cool.
The worst one, and you can speak to this as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you for your HelloFresh quality of ingredients.
So shoddy. So shoddy.
It's literally like they've gone to the dumpster at the back of IGA.
That it's going to be like a really bad.
Yeah. You might get a really nice big juicy onion, or you might get like a shriveled up zucchini that's actually broken. The amount of long veg I had that was broken, and my manhood felt threatened. But yeah, it was like shriveled. I've had mold on one of them before.
Oh God.
My tomato was squisheth.
Yeah, squisheth. I just think meal deliveries can be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
And there are some people that'll be like, I don't care, I'll just have it regardless.
I've not met anyone who's done it for a prolonged period of time.
No.
And yeah, they make it so hard for you to leave the service that I feel like they know that. It's kind of like a gym membership.
I would give that like -3 stars.
So
it took
hard.
forever for me to get out of HelloFresh.
It's like leaving a gym.
And then I got money back from them because...
Did you?
Because
that's great.
Yeah, because...
What happened?
I don't remember why. I remember because they had like double served me or something after I had I tried to back
So like
out.
you cancelled and they kept sending you the
Yeah,
stuff.
and then I got money back. But there you go.
It's a bit of a clusterfuck.
It
to
really
be honest.
is. 100%.
Is it worth it? I would say no.
No. And I'm so damn glad we do the segment again. Cause the last time we did it made a whole lot of sense. And I'm so glad I know more fun facts than I've been. Gonna keep on asking, is this fact fun up or down?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, baby. We haven't done one of these in a long time.
I know. I feel
so
my
excited.
life coming back into me. The blood's going to my penis, Joshua. I'm excited.
Oh, you are.
And I'm also looking forward to this segment. That
It
we're
is.
about
It's
to
fun
do.
up, fun down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing one that's sort of related to one we've done before.
Okay, yep.
And it's going to be one where we get to...
We would never reuse material.
No, we never would. But it does repeat one fact, so we're just going to address it at the
Okay,
start.
sure.
We're doing fun facts
That
about
ice
bugs.
cream. Oh, bugs.
So we've done
the
these.
waggle dance.
Well, that's what the fun fact is. That's already on this list.
Get ready. I've got an anecdote for that, but I'll save it for that because
fantastic.
I'm a professional.
So
yeah.
we'll just re-rate it when it comes to it.
Absolutely.
But I found this thread on the cesspool that is known as Twitter.
Okay, yep.
And it was about this person called Chinchillazilla.
Oh.
Chinchillazilla.
Sounds legit to
He
me.
said,
Yeah.
My dad is an entomologist, so I often find that something I have basically always known about bugs totally blows regular people's minds.
Oh, this sounds
I'm going to
good.
start off a thread of sick bug facts.
Oh,
that
fantastic.
normies may or may not know.
It's perfect. It's
So we're
already
gonna-
there for
what we're gonna do-
How many are there?
There's 10.
Okay, great. All right,
9
fantastic.
if you're not counting the waggle dance.
Oh,
We'll
I
get to-
count the waggle dance because
So,
that's the
what-
only good thing that's ever come out of this show.
So we're
Yeah.
going to just run down the facts.
Yep.
Is it funds up? Is it a good fact? It's
Yep.
funds down, a bad fact.
Ah,
Johnny,
great.
can you give the people an example of what a bad fact would be?
So a bad fact would be, did you know the blue whale is the largest waterborne mammal in the world?
it's boring.
Boring.
We've heard it all
no
before.
one cares. What we say every single time, and I'm going to preface this going into bug facts. 'cause
Right, yeah.
I reckon we're going to have a lot that fall into this category. Size and weight are not interesting facts.
It's true, it's
the
true.
biggest, it's the smallest,
Just because-
it's the longest.
yeah,
Just
100%.
because a bug is 15 centimeters long, I
I'm
couldn't
going to
give
be
a
honest.
fuck.
Can I say another one that
Yeah.
often is not very fun for
Yeah.
me? Is it the dangerous, the most deadliest?
No one cares.
We don't care.
Everything. If
We
I
know.
see anything in Australia, I know it's going to probably be bad for my
Okay.
health. So I
Fantastic.
don't actually care.
So
about
this is the
that.
first
Yeah.
fact, Jono.
Okay.
Sick bug fact number 1.
Sick bug fact number 1,
All
baby.
adult scorpions fluoresce under black light. Even some scorpion fossils have been known to glow this way.
I saw this on Hamish Blake's Instagram story. Did you see this?
Yes.
The other day he was on Fraser Island
Yeah.
and he was with a park ranger who was shining a UV torch on
And
a
it-
scorpion
yeah.
and it glowed in the dark.
It glows in the dark.
I literally said "wow" out loud. So I'm
There
gonna
it
give
is.
that. I'm gonna give that
Thumbs up.
a tick. That is a fucking fantastic fact, honestly. And
For sure.
I'm not ashamed to say that, Joshua. I enjoy that fact.
Even apparently there's some like crabs and even daddy longlegs that can do this
What
as
does
well.
it? Daddy long legs.
Yeah, like it's something to do with a protein layer in their exoskeleton.
There you go. I've got a daddy long legs who's over there where I charge my computer, and he's been there for a while. So maybe I'll shine a light at him.
Yeah, maybe
Or can I
give him-
put him in the sun for a bit?
Yeah.
And then I'll bring him back in at night time and use him as a reading
That's
lamp.
very good, actually. I like that. Just fill up your house full of bugs and then...
Oh, mate, I live in so many trees. My house is full of bugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Number 2, when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, it doesn't just change shape like anamorph.
Yeah.
It releases enzymes and just digests its whole body into liquid.
I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Did you say the word enzyme? It's meant to
Yeah.
be, oh, look at me. I know about biology.
I was going to say, we have a bad experience with enzymes. We both did bio in year 10, year 12.
Biologically incompetent we are.
True.
Yeah, no, not interesting. Everyone knows because it's got to do some kind of digestion or something about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
for sure.
funds down. Yep.
Okay. In the 18,000s, someone found this orchid, I'm going to say.
18,000?
In the 1800s, sorry, 1800s.
Bros in the future.
Found this orchid in Madagascar that had a nectar long way to its bottom of this long tube. Darwin wrote about it in the letter and predicted there must be a moth that has a similar long tube.
No, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then 5 years later, they found it. And there it is,
That's very boring.
a moth with a long tube.
Describe what that is. Describe that image.
So you know how moths have those long sort of tube, the proboscis, like
It's not that long. It's like a little sticky outy nose
sticky
bit.
outy
yeah.
nose. These have just
It's
really
just
long
sticky out a bit
nose.
more. And I tell you why I said no to that one.
Yeah.
Because size is not a fun fact.
Yeah, it's true.
Because size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter.
No.
You keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, I will.
This
Everyone
next one,
tells me
everyone's
that.
favorite.
What?
Bees communicate the locations of
Yes.
flower and water sources and potential new nests through a complicated waggle dance.
Oh, the waggle dance. It's not a mating dance.
No,
it's
it
a
isn't.
communication dance. And I was watching Clarkson's Farm as I recommended on last week's episode.
did.
And I was watching an episode and he was starting a bee colony and there was a bee like fucking getting gritty with it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the beekeeper said that's called the waggle dance and he's doing that to say this is a safe place for the other bees to come and get down with it.
After he did that, did he go, and I heard this on the comedian
On the comedian yeah, he did. And
we
we're
were
in the
before
credits.
everyone on
Yeah.
this. We got to it early.
Honestly, my favorite fact of all time. Yep.
Okay, next one. All monarch butterflies outside of one population in South Florida
Mm-hmm.
migrate south for winter.
Is that it?
Yeah, they just
No.
all go to one spot.
But
They all go to one spot, so...
everyone does that.
But like, there's one specific spot that they go to in Mexico.
Yeah,
Not fun.
all the crackheads go to the Moreland Hotel.
true.
Like, it's just what civilizations do.
It's true.
Yeah. You know the
Okay.
Moreland Hotel, they're gonna pull it down, but some
thank God.
deadwit started a petition to save the Moreland Hotel.
No, get rid of it, man. Get rid of it. Turn it into like an upscale pub that I can actually go to.
Yeah, that's
Bro.
right.
Okay, this is the next one. There's a scene in Bug's Life where the leaf falls in front of the bug.
I've
and
watched
then they
Bugs
forgot it.
Life.
You have?
That's
Do you
an
remember
extra
this?
one. I don't remember it.
Anyway,
Yes.
so a leaf falls in front of a bug, and then
Okay.
the ant goes like, "I don't know where I am
Yeah,
anymore."
okay.
This is true in real life.
So
If
it gets
something
disoriented.
breaks, if it breaks the line, if a leaf falls in front of it and it breaks the line,
Wow.
because it's like pheromones, they follow
Yeah.
the pheromones.
Yeah.
It goes, "I don't know where to go. I get lost."
Because, oh my God, I've done this to an ant before. Because they all walk in they march in one by one, like regimented soldiers, right? In a line. So if something comes in that path, they're like, oh, fuck, I don't know.
It doesn't know what to do.
Like,
It starts going around in circles.
It's like me when the satellite drops
Thumbs
out
up.
on Google Maps. Ding. That's fantastic. I like that.
Next one.
Yep.
So there's a species of like basically like a fish thing.
Yeah.
But a fish thing bug that cuts out a fish's tongue and replaces it.
Joshua, would you like to describe what a fish thing bug is?
I don't know. I'm going to show
it a
you a
fish?
picture of what
Okay.
it looks like. The thing inside the fish's mouth.
Oh, everyone would
roly-poly.
have seen this. Yeah, it's like a little bug that lives inside a fish.
Yeah. So this thing, it cuts out the tongue of a fish,
Yeah.
then replaces it. And then it helps the fish eat food while also feeding on the fish's
Absolutely
mucus.
sensational fact. I'm always there for an endosymbiotic relationship.
You better believe it.
I absolutely love an endos. It's like the bugs that live inside a crocodile's mouth and clean its teeth.
Yeah.
But the fact
you
that
know
this
the fish
replaces
that
the tongue,
that
that's
have like
amazing.
a Velcro on the top and connects to other fish.
Amazing.
Love them.
A docking situation. I love it.
I hate that. Number 8. Mosquito larvae swim around with all wiggly things like this.
Oh, they look like tadpoles.
Yeah, they're all squiggly around.
Guess what? Couldn't give a fuck.
Nah.
People,
sorry about that.
People like that about tadpoles as well. They're like, oh, there's so many
Yeah,
of them and they
just
swim around.
it's boring.
So does sperm. That's what happens. That's how this thing works. Yeah. You got another
Okay,
one?
next one. There is a parasite called the horsehair worm that infects crickets and grasshoppers and mantids. And they do this by just like tricking the host into jumping into water so can they leave.
Oh,
the
that's
breed.
a bit cheeky.
Yeah, so they
I
trick
like
them,
that.
and then they
So they need to be in the water for
so
breeding.
Yeah, exactly.
So they somehow trick the
trick
host.
the host into getting into the water.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
sensational fact. I love a little bit of sly negotiation, a little bit of tomfoolery.
I got one more for you.
All right, drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
I'll do it. Boom, 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 boom,
Okay.
boom.
Do you remember when? Okay, we'll go. Okay, final one. You probably think earwigs are gross.
I do,
but they're
actually.
devoted mothers. They can spend months carefully tending their eggs and picking off any mold spores that threaten them after they hatch. They feed their bed with only 1% of insects to demonstrate parental care.
I'm trying to be guilt tripped in here.
What do you think?
It's not a fun fact, but it's so beautiful. I'm gonna cry. It's a fun's down.
Off and down. Oh no, it's like, oh, look at that.
I would say it's a good fact and it's a nice thing, but it's not fun.
No, it isn't. You're
if
right.
I'm reading that little thing in the book and it's in like an orange square and it's in Comic Sans,
No, I was gonna the Onyx squid. No, it's like in like a speech bubble.
yeah,
There's some cartoon
or like a
person
thought
this.
bubble or something.
Yeah.
they're always in like a curious stance, or it's like an animal who's like doing that thing with your lip when you're like scrunching your face up in thought.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's like a cow going, if I'm reading something like that and it says like
Earwigs are devoted mothers.
are maternal, I'm not showing my mate that one.
Yeah.
I like bug facts, but I'll tell you what else I like.
Next slide.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Robert Clive. Well, Jono.
Should I sit on my balcony and just every time someone will, hello.
I was just going to do a character about Robert Clive. You know Clive of India?
Yeah.
The first governor of Bengal, of India.
Oh, my
He's
God.
not a good guy.
Not a good guy, but he makes banging curry
Oh, my God,
powder.
the curry powder is so
Everyone
good.
knows what we're talking about. The big yellow tube that's
That says
obnoxiously
Clive of
large
India.
and it's got a red lid.
I only say
love
this
that.
because I saw it on the shelf, and I was like looking at it because who's this Robert Clive?
Like what actually did
Who's
he?
this
So
Clive
he was
of
a
India?
governor of India. Is that what he was?
He was a governor of India who then contributed to famine. So I think he's a great guy.
He contributed to famine because what he did, he made a banging curry powder and
Oh,
everyone
and then
used it
everyone
and made
just
too many
lost
curries and
all
then we
their
ran out
money
of food.
on wanting to make so much curry. Kind
It
of the
happens.
opposite in a way.
Anyway, this is the weirdest fucking segment. We are not talking about Club of India.
We're
We're
not?
talking about
Oh,
your support.
can we talk about
and the
it later?
community nights. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
On our After Dark podcast,
That would be funny.
3 hours on Clive of India.
Yeah. 3 hours.
Pete, write that. No, who's the producer? The Boffin. Boffin, write that down. Sorry, we got so many stuff. It's hard being a
it's
COO
like-
here.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch with us,
Oh, yeah, this is
you
right.
can go to comedianons.com.
Sorry, it's a Saturday morning. We are so confused.
We were just saying how we were actually we were really pumped
I'm
out.
flapped.
It was the hello thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it threw me off. Follow us on. Actually, click the follow button if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because what that does, it shows that we have active listeners.
Yeah, you can give us
It gets
5
recommended.
stars on there.
Do
Mean
that.
that'll show up. It'll be good for us. in
Like
the
us
end.
on Instagram. Instagram's actually been popping off, and people have been engaging, which has been
We
good.
love to see it.
We like that.
And all you got to do now is, and I may probably make a story about it later
Yeah.
in the week.
Yep.
To go into the website, click on the
good
little
idea.
send a message.
Yeah, and
And
talk
it-
to us about your favorite thing to have for dinner.
Yeah, give us your favorite spice.
Yep. Say your name, where you live, who you are, and your favorite spice.
And then tell us to fuck off.
You have to end with "and fuck you." Next slide.
Yeah.
So I'm getting old, Joshua.
You sure are.
I've been an
You
old man for a while, to be
You're so old.
to be completely
Oh.
honest. I feel like if someone met me, they'd be like, "Oh, he's a nice young man. He's not going to get into any trouble or whatever." Because I give off old man vibes.
You really do.
That's what I figured.
You walk like this with your arms out.
I do that. You know the old man pose where they look out the window and have their hands behind their back and they slightly lean
I've seen
forward.
you staring at me like that through the window.
That's what I do. I'm a pensive man. I like
are.
life at a slow pace, but fast on the inside. You know what I mean? I'm
Maybe.
just a leisurely man. So
Sure.
I know you'll have some things that I want you to.
I never would.
to add
No.
to this list of me being an old man.
I would never tell you you're an old man, John.
That's why I've come up with a rating system.
I just think that you are, you're.
I am my own ship.
You have your own ship.
Is
Now,
this a
some
fair
may say-
assessment about me? I am my own main character. Do you agree with that?
you know what-
I live my life
Yeah,
around other
you're
people.
like you're a guest character that becomes like a fan.
Oh,
char-
that's
fan
true.
favorite.
I'm like brought in like some like halfway through season 3, and then I stay to the end.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm like Ed Holmes in The Office. I just end up
Ed
staying
Helms,
there.
not
yeah.
Holmes.
Oh,
Helms.
is it Ed Helms?
Yeah, it's Ed Helms.
I thought it was Ed Holmes.
Ed Holmes, that's Sherlock. Wrong person.
Same guy.
Same guy.
They're both British. No, they're not.
No, they're not. That's
But
okay.
What I've got a couple.
Okay.
You'll have some to add, but what I want to do is we're going to add up a score. So
Okay.
from 1 to 10, I think, right? Because you know those survey forms you do, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
very much so, not at all, and then you choose between,
Yeah.
right? But you're not allowed to pick the middle one because
Right.
it's like a write-off and it's a
Yeah,
cop-out.
it is.
I want you to give a rating between 1 and 10 of where you think
10 being you're really old.
I'm really
one
old,
being-
and 1 being I'm really young and hip and 23,
Okay,
right?
sure.
Where I should be.
I'll think about it. I
And-
have to be honest though. I have to be honest in how I judge you here.
So the first one is in the evening, right? You've had a busy day, right?
Yeah,
you've been running around
Yeah.
all day. You've been working to save the world, right? You've been watering your plants. You've been cooking your every plate, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's 9 o'clock at night. You go to bed at 10 p.m., right? Because you got to get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I like to wind down, a cup of tea, and a book in the evening. That's what I like to do. Is this an acceptable thing for a young person to be doing?
See what's happened here is you've brushed over the main part of it, which is going to bed at 10.
What's wrong with going to bed at 10? Would you like me to explain my system of going?
Yeah, go for it.
Because, it's not, hit the pillow at 10 o'clock.
No.
It starts the wind down process, So the clock,
I feel like some would
the
say
arm
that
hits 10 o'clock.
I spent almost a year in the same apartment as you.
I've
One
got-
would even argue that maybe you started that process at 9.
No. I actually shifted a little bit because I don't have a commute anymore, so I can shift a bit later. But 10 o'clock comes around. Used to be 9:30, but 10 o'clock comes around. That's when I hit the showers, right?
Yeah.
You got to scrub a dub, get your
And
bar
you're
of
walking
country
like
lives.
this.
Yeah,
You're goose stepping
My
to the
arms
shower.
are behind my back. You got to scrub it up in the shower, brush your teeth, shave. Go to hit the bed, but you don't go to sleep straight away. You make sure your clothes are laid out for the next morning. Then I get into bed, right? It's 10:30 at this point, and then I read for half an hour, and then it gets to 11 o'clock. Then I go to bed, ready to wake up.
How do you
at
go to
7
sleep?
a.m.
Do you
the next
put
morning.
what else do you do when you go to sleep?
I put my earplugs in.
Why would you put your earplugs in?
Because I
Jono?
used to live with a guy who would air fry in the middle of the night and boil the kettle 3 separate times between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. in the morning.
Never, no.
But now I've Pavloved myself into having to go to sleep with earplugs. And I do live next door to a school, so it does start kicking off really early in the morning. So having the earplugs helps me not wake up before the sun rises, because they mow the grass at 6 a.m., which can't be
really?
legal at all.
No.
There's no way that's illegal.
No, I
That's
don't think
legal.
so.
So I feel like that's totally typical of a young man.
Nah, I'm
where
giving
would
you
you put
almost
that
like
on
a
the
7
scale? A
on-
7. Oh
a
shit,
7 on the scale.
That's pretty high. What we should do? What at the end out of 100? I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh shit! Out of 50, fuck, that was some quick math.
Okay.
Out of 50,
Yeah.
what is old and what is not? Are we saying 25 is the midway point? Or I've gone
25
too
is the
far?
midway point. I think
Okay.
above 35 would be really old.
I think that's fair, because in mid,
I think below- I
mid-20s,
think, yeah.
you're gonna have some older characteristics.
Above 35, from 25 to 35, I would still be
It's
able to
old but acceptable.
Exactly.
And 35 is I'm like a 60-year-old man and I shouldn't be doing this if I'm
For
this
sure,
young.
for sure.
Okay. This is a great one.
Okay.
So I mentioned I lived at a school. I lived at a school. I don't
near
live
a
at a school.
school.
I live next to a school. If I'm sitting at my desk, I can open my window and reach out and touch the fence of a school. That's how close I live
yeah.
to a school. I've never done that, by the way. Just putting that out there.
Sure.
So it's very loud.
Yeah.
It is so loud. Like, if you've never been around in the middle of the day, have
No,
you?
I
When
haven't.
there's school been
And
it was
I
school
never
holidays.
will.
No,
I refuse.
we would struggle to hear each other in conversation when they're out at lunchtime and recess. That's how loud it is. Like, I'll have what's called noise cancelling headphones on, and it's still loud. Like, that's how loud it is.
Right.
It's like crazy loud, but I'm okay with it. And I was having this conversation with my next door neighbor. We're out at the washing line, right?
Sure.
Just doing our washing in the morning, right? As you do when you're a hip young person. And she said, we're talking about how the house
How
stays.
old's how old's the person?
She's about 25.
Okay, so you're
So
both
similar age.
similar ages. Okay.
And we're talking about how, first of all, the conversation started by saying, isn't it nice that our houses stay nice and cool in the summer, don't heat up too much? And she said, it's a good payoff for how loud it gets, right, at lunchtime and stuff. And I couldn't believe the words that came out of my mouth. I said, it may be noisy, but I'm happy that they're having a good time. That's I feel like it's a very old man thing
It really
to say.
is.
Oh,
That
I'm just
added,
happy that
2
they're
points
happy.
to the score already.
Oh no! So what's your review of that? Would you say that's acceptable?
I think
is that a
it's-
young person thing to say?
Okay, the thing you've said has skewed it because
Oh no!
because I think that if you had just sort of I think if you had complained it'd be worse.
Okay, that's an
I think if you had
interesting
been
point
like,
of view.
oh my
fucking
god, the
kids. Yeah, true.
it just drives me nuts.
Other people in this area apparently do complain to the school a lot that the kids are noisy, and I'm like,
what are you
it's
gonna
a
do? You can't do
school.
anything
Like, what
about
do you
that.
mean? Yeah.
But I think that if you were, I think if you hadn't said anything, it would have still been kind of like
It would have leveled it out a bit
leveled
more.
it out a bit.
But I've got all the kids are having a good time.
I think I'll give you a 6.
Okay.
I'll give you a 6.
Okay, so slightly above, but that's kind of in the buffer zone.
Buffer zone.
God, this isn't looking good. All right.
How many more of these have you got?
I've got 3 more.
Oh, fantastic.
I was at the cafe the other day. It was actually a week ago. It was last Saturday morning.
That's already brought you down to -1.
-1 because I have a regular coffee
Because you have a regular coffee schedule. You spend money on a coffee.
I do spend money on a coffee.
Russell's like, oh my God, don't want to do that.
When I'm there at the morning, it's only school children or like old businessmen who should be retired, but they don't like their life at home, so they keep working. That's the kind of people that are there.
Yeah, for sure.
The girl working there, she looked about 14, but she was probably like 16 or 17 or something.
Yeah.
It was school, so she must have been like 18 or something.
Right.
All in a flap, right? All in a flap, getting all flustered. And I couldn't believe the words coming out of my mouth. And this is what triggered the segment. I said, "You're all right, love. Take your time."
Oh, no. You used love.
I said
love.
No. Because she was all stressed and panicky and she thought I was going to throw my coffee at her. And I said, "Oh, you're all right, love."
You said love.
I said love. I called it love.
That's like a 50-year-old.
It's like love, sweetie.
Woman.
The darling. It's a 50-year-old woman
love,
thing to say.
all right.
All right, love. It's like when you want to show that I support you. I'm happy you're doing what you're doing. Don't worry about me. Love, sweet pea.
That's a tough one. I
said
don't know.
love.
That's really hard.
I almost took myself
like-
to jail after that. Like, I'm too young to be saying these words. I think it's a nice thing to say to someone, but I feel like I'm too young to say it.
Because I don't like. I think if you were an old man, would you be going to a cafe? But if you were an old person, once you're there and you've said love, that like skews it again. I don't really know.
The old people that say love are always the really nice old people.
Yeah, but
it's not
they're
like
still old, aren't they?
But they're still old. That's the thing. Do you agree with me that a nice old person is younger than a mean old person? Even if they are mathematically older. If they're like 80
sure.
but they're nice, it puts them at like a
it's like
72
those like
or
old
something.
Hollywood people who end up being like gay icons.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, it kind of has that effect.
I'm going to give you...
Can I self-rate? I'm going to say 10.
Okay, good. You said it, not me, but I'm happy with the 10.
All right.
That's crazy.
That's literally what I
What
when
has
I
it
wrote
come
this
to?
segment
You're
down.
here by yourself.
I know.
What is happening to you?
I'm living the life, but I've become old.
I believe it's because of where you're living.
There's my neighbour that I was talking about and the dog.
Oh, there's a dog. The place you're living at.
Yeah. It's like, can you explain this place?
This kind of area.
Yeah.
This kind of area.
It's a young person, like, apartment building.
Right, but you're in the middle of an area full of grandmas.
Yeah.
And old
It's old money. It's old money. That's what it is.
And because of that, I feel like you're like soaking up some of those old money traits.
Because they're the people that I'm exposed to. Because I live and work by myself. So
we need to get you in Brunswick stat.
Don't worry, I'm flying to Hobart in 2 weeks. The oldest fucking city in Australia.
I don't want to know what happens to you after you've been in Hobart.
I actually have a travel related one.
Okay.
I've been traveling a little bit recently, all right? I'll be going to Hobart in a few weeks.
Very nice.
Every couple of months I'll be going to Sydney. I went to Sydney, we talked about it about a month ago for the first episode.
That's been a month. Jesus Christ.
I know, isn't it flying?
It's been so fast.
Of 3 weeks or a month or something. It's been flying. But I've been away for 3 or 4 nights at a time. And my very first thought is, I better get someone to come around and check on the place. So I gave my keys to my retired dad. And when I'm away, I'll get him to come around. What are the plans? Just do some general snooping. Just make sure everything's all right. Just stand there with his arms behind his back and go, yep, all looks good. I thought, you better have someone come around and to check on the place.
You're okay with that one. I think that's about a 5.
Do you reckon that's a justified thing to do?
It's a justified thing.
If
but
you're not a
bit,
homeowner, but yeah.
It's 5. I'll give you a 5.
Fair enough. All right, and the final one. Now, I feel like I might be okay with this one, but not last night.
Okay.
Yesterday afternoon, right?
Yeah.
It was a Friday because this is a Saturday, so it was a Friday yesterday.
Right.
I've been sitting inside working all week, right? It was a lovely sunny day outside, and I thought, you know what? I reckon I'll sit outside and get a little bit of sun. That's what I
a 10.
thought.
Put it down as a 10.
Really? It's not
who does that?
Oh no! All
Who
right.
sits outside like if you're a young person and you want to get outside time, you're gonna go for a walk. You might go.
That's actually true.
Actually do something.
You actually do something. I literally
Old
just
men
sat
will sit outside in the
chair
sun and be like, I need to get some vitamin D.
I did it for like 20 minutes and I didn't do anything when I sat there. I just sat there and just soaked up some rays and then I came back inside.
Yeah, you're a weird man.
So for a cup of tea in the evening and my whole nighttime routine, right? You gave me a 7.
Yeah.
which is above the threshold. For having the conversation
Should I
about...
do the maths while we're
I'm doing
talking?
the math right
Oh,
now.
okay.
That's why I'm filibustering.
Go for
The conversation about being happy, you gave me a 6, right?
Yeah, okay.
So far that's a 13. That's getting
13.
dangerously close to
It
our
is.
midpoint, and we're not even halfway there.
Oh no! I just realized there's 2 10s coming.
The girl that I told her, she was in a bit of a flap, and then it
Yeah.
got me stressed, and I said, don't worry about it. You're right, love. I said, you gave me a 10 for that. So that bumps us up to 23. We're in the danger zone right now because we're 2 points away and there's 2 more to go.
That's not good.
To get someone to come check on the place, you gave me a 5. So that brings us to 28. I'm over the threshold, but I'm in the safe zone.
You are.
Unfortunately, what did you say the upper threshold of
Gave
the
you
safe zone was? 35. So with a 10, when I said I should go outside and get a little bit of sun, that bumps us up to 38. Josh, I'm officially old. That's a real shame. Oh well. Me and my 13 investment properties will be all right.
I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Last week, Jono.
Yep.
On the weekend, I sent you 2 ideas. One was crap. We don't
One
talk about
was
that.
real bad.
We don't talk about that one. But
I'm happy to talk about
No,
it.
we're not talking about it. We're
Yeah,
moving on.
sure.
I'll make that one work another day.
Yeah.
And then
It'll never work.
this one I came up with.
It was a banger.
It was a banger.
You gave me 2 options, and I'm like, yes.
Okay, so the
Number
idea
one.
that we came up with is we're going to do a Melbourne bingo card.
Fantastic. Because we love Melbourne.
A couple of things we're not sure about
What's
yet.
on my office wall?
Yeah, map of Melbourne.
Map of Melbourne. I
So
love
here's
Melbourne.
one thing that we don't know a lot
Love
of
it.
things about this yet.
No.
We don't know how big it's going to be.
This
the
is a
actual
nut out
card.
session, and we're
We
going to
don't
get
know-
the human beings to help us of the show as well.
Yeah, we don't really know whether it's going to be over a short period of time or a long period of time or what we're going to do.
We're gonna-
we'll think about it
That's
as we
right.
go.
What-
What we did do
Yeah.
is we set each other homework.
We did set some homework.
So
I've not really
we've-
done it.
We've both separately
Come up with
thought
some
about
ideas.
a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
Things that might be on a Melbourne bingo card.
Yeah. And it's not going to be like, what would you say, like amazing racy too much, but there are going to be like, go to a place, have an interaction.
That's what I think it is. It's
Do-
a lot of
do
it is
something,
I
yeah.
would say it's actually similar-ish to Amazing Race
it's
in that way
similar.
of like go to a place, do a thing, or
But it's like
go to a
all-
place, take a photo.
Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
a place,
That's
buy
right.
a thing, and then do a thing.
But it's not like we're like racing together at the same time.
No, we're not.
It's like you have them, you know what you're going to do at the start, and then it's kind of as you're going about your life or whatever, can you notice these things? Can you incorporate this into your
and I think part of
your
it's going to be
travel or
some
whatever?
version of recording it so that we can see
I
it
think you
happening.
have to have like audio
Some proof.
evidence of you doing
Some proof.
most of the things, some kind of
So
proof.
I'll just run down a couple of my list to give you an
I will
example.
preface this. Have you gone funny? Because I've just gone like normal things, and some of them are humorous.
I've gone a couple of them are funny, but not
good,
really.
good. See, this is why we work together.
Okay,
you got to have a little bit of funny.
I had
and some normal.
I had
All right.
an overall idea, but
All right, I'm gonna
sure
write a
we'll
list.
have a similar thing.
All right, I'm writing
I
Melbourne
have one
Bingo.
to do something to do with coffee.
Okay,
Do
coffee.
you have ideas about coffee?
I didn't actually include a coffee one, but that's good.
Here's one I had because it's
Okay.
a thing that's it's special to us too.
Yeah. Is it
And I-
De Grave Street?
What?
I was going to say have a coffee in De Grave Street.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one. What was
I was
what were
going to
you
say I
going
was
to say?
thinking magic related.
Oh,
'Cause that's so
have
specific.
a magic coffee. Order a magic at De Grave Street.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Okay,
great.
fantastic.
Do you want to explain to people De Grave Street if they don't know?
Okay, so if you've ever thought about coming to Melbourne or whatever, if you live anywhere, especially if you live overseas, you type in Melbourne, you're going to see De Grave Street.
Yeah.
This is what Melbourne is known for. It's the inner city laneways. So De Grave Street is like actually in the city. It's next to Flinders Street Station, the big yellow building, and it's where all the restaurants and cafes, mainly
Yeah,
cafes.
it's sort of side by side. There's a bunch of little areas.
It's no cars. It's just pedestrian.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the road is just all the tables. I think it's like cobblestone laneway or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it's just like hole in the wall coffee shops.
Yeah, it's great.
There's some high end like Italian restaurants, and then there's just some absolute shithole. Like there's a guy called Bert who hates his life, just serving out the best coffee you've ever had in
100%.
your whole life. So
So
order a magic into Grave Street. Do you want to tell the people what a magic is?
Right. A magic was something you told me about years ago.
That's right. It's never on the menu at a
No.
cafe. It's an off menu
Off-menu
coffee
thing.
item. Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
So what it is, if you have a double shot coffee, what happens is you get the whole shot. But the
Yeah.
first shot is where the first part of the shot, the first
supposed
half,
to be like
it's the flavorful one. That's where the flavor comes out.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get, it's called a double ristretto. So it's it's very Melbourne. It's just the first halves of 2 shots. So you're getting a full shot, but it's 100% flavor. And then you
Right.
just put a little bit of milk in there, like 3/4 full with milk.
Yeah.
Bang. Perfect.
It's actually so good.
Doesn't get any better than that.
And it's specific to Melbourne as well.
Yeah,
it's not
specific
a
to
thing.
Melbourne.
You might not have heard of it.
That's right.
That's cool.
All right. I want to throw one in there.
Go for it.
I love a train.
I have trained my next one.
Okay, good. We'll see.
well, sorry, go
I think
ahead.
it's okay to have multiple in the same category
for
because
sure,
you can
sure.
knock off a couple. We're on
Right, I
trains a
agree.
fair bit. I haven't figured out exactly how this is going to work, but I want some variation of doing an excessive number of laps of the city loop.
Oh, that's good.
On the tram.
I like that.
So there's 2. I think we can do either the city circle tram might be easier to do. It takes a long time, but it just keeps looping, right? The city loop train, it does go into other lines and stuff, so you'd have to get off. But I like the idea of just going round and around in a
So would
circle
the idea
for like a
be-
long time.
So what would the actual bingo be?
What I was thinking is over the course of the thing, whoever can get the highest number of laps on the city circle or the most full iterations of the city loop train. So in 3
By a
months,
due date.
if we start in March and we finish in June, right? We record how many laps we've done of the city loop and the highest number wins. So a lap
and that
would
becomes,
be
that's if we're looking at a bingo card.
Yeah.
So if people think about like a 5x5
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
grid, one grid block would be that.
one block would be that.
And we wouldn't know who won that one until we got
That's
to the
right.
end.
That's like a wild card one.
I like that
so
one
it's not
actually
a
a lot.
singular tick off. It's
That could be in
it's
the
one
middle.
you
That
keep
could be the
coming.
middle
It's the
block.
middle one, and the number, like you get your little whiteboard marker and you rub it out and you write the new number.
Yeah.
So that's the way that we don't know who's actually won. It's almost like could be like a tiebreaker one.
I like that one a lot.
So I think a full lap, we can get into it when we're actually nutting it down, but a full lap, if it was the city loop, would be Flagstaff, Melbourne Central, Parliament, Flinders.
Now, the city loop's going to be changing soon.
Yes, but not our line. Not our line.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
we won't have to deal with any of the new
No,
stations.
the new state. It's a separate loop, so we'll
Okay,
still
so
be all
we'll
good.
stick to that then. I like that.
Maybe
Okay.
a bonus if the new train line opens, which I don't think it will in our time doing this. It's a bonus point for every loop you've done of the metro tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the train is a better one than the tram.
Yeah, train's
because
better.
The train's better. So we'll just say laps of city loop tunnel. What's it
So,
called?
yes.
Laps of the loop.
So are we saying that we have to start at one of them, do a loop completely and get to the end one?
I think you have to have done all the stations in the city loop. So you don't have to come back to the
so.
original.
If I got in a tram at
If you got
a
on a-
station near us,
Yep.
not saying what station.
Yep, yep.
You got a station and you went all the way down and then you went past Flagstaff, then you went past Southern Cross.
Yep.
Not in that order.
No, Southern Cross is not part of the loop. Just
So
the
it'd
ones
be-
that are
so
underground.
it'd be Flagstaff, Parliament, other way
Flagstaff, Melbourne Central, Parliament.
Flinders Street.
Yep. So if you've done Flagstaff, Melbourne Central, and Parliament, I count that as doing the city loop because they're the only stations on the loop.
Central Parliament.
Yep.
I think you have to end at Flinders. I think Flinders has to be part of
Either Flinders or Southern Cross, depending on which way it comes out.
it. Okay, fine.
Yep.
So you have to
Okay.
have one of the
Yep,
one or the
yep,
other.
Yep. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, and it's just a cumulative.
It's a cumulative one.
Now I work from home, so that's going to be difficult because
Going
you
to
work in the
train
city
every day. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay,
We'll see.
cool. Do you have one?
I do. I'm going to choose one that isn't train related, Jono.
Yep. Okay.
I've got one which I think is funny.
Yep.
It's ask someone near the Melbourne Star when it will start again.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, like some kind of conversation because it's a Ferris wheel that's like
Ferris wheel that's
being closed.
completely closed.
And it's not like it's just closed temporarily. It's shut
the
down.
idea would be we would have to get a recording of us standing near the Melbourne Star.
Yeah, ask
going up
someone
to someone
something to do with the
coming
opening
past
times
and
of
going,
it.
Goes, hi, hey, do you know when this is going to be opening up again?
Yeah.
And ideally, the response you're looking for is, oh, I'm so sorry, mate. It's actually closed completely.
Okay, I like that. I
think
reckon
that's a good
something
one.
about like, oh, I'm looking to go on it. Will it be open this afternoon?
Yeah,
something
yeah,
related to
for
the
sure.
opening hours of the Melbourne Star. Okay, that's great. That's
Okay.
great. All right,
I'll give you another one if you want as well.
absolutely hit me up. And then
Okay, this
then
other
I go
one.
on.
This one is graffiti related.
Oh,
One
this
of
is
our
good.
graffiti lanes.
Yep.
You have to be in the graffiti lane. I think
Yep.
you should ask
Any
someone.
of them or Hozier Lane?
I think Hozier.
Hozier
actually
Lane.
Hozier,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
because take me to church.
Take me to Hozier Lane.
Take me to Hozier
Bend me
Lane.
over in Hozier Lane. I'm telling you what.
Ask someone looking at the graffitis in Hozier Lane that you're looking for something you saw a few years ago.
Oh, that's
the
a
idea
good
that
one.
it wouldn't be there, right?
Or can I add something to
Go
this?
for it.
Just make something up and go, oh, have you seen the penguin wearing the beret?
Oh, that's good as well.
And then you have a conversation about that,
like
and then
that.
they spend the whole day looking for the penguin in the beret. So either, I like that. Talk to someone in Hozier Lane about something that's not actually there.
Yeah,
or
I like
help them
that.
look for something that may have existed but then no longer
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
All right, so what should we call this? Graffiti in Hozier Lane that doesn't exist.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I've got one.
Go
This
for
is
it.
a multi-banger, right?
Okay.
So it's the same category, but it's going to consist, I reckon, almost like it wouldn't be a full row. You'd intersplice it,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So what I would do, 1 point, 1 square for every swim in a city Melbourne beach. So a swim doesn't have to be a full lap. It just means you have the video evidence of you in the water. And I think you have to do a complete submersion at a Melbourne beach.
Complete submersion.
I reckon a
around
complete
beach.
submersion, at least shoulders under. Because you can't just stick your ankle in there. So
It's going to get cold at Melbourne
it's going to
beaches.
get cold. That's why. So what would you count as the inner Melbourne beaches? I would say St Kilda,
St Kilda,
South Melbourne, Altona. That's a good one. Maybe Williamstown, Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's 5.
That's 5.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
we'll just do 3.
I think that should be like one. That should be another one of those cumulative ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, how many
have
Melbourne
you-
beaches?
How many have you done? And can you, if you prove it, have you done more than this other person?
Oh, you could just make it 3. So one is St Kilda, South Melbourne, and Brighton or something
Make
like
it
that.
just 3 separate blocks.
3 separate ones. Bang, bang, bang.
Just a swimmer wants to get easy
You
points.
got to play to your strengths. You got to play to your strengths. I also don't want to swim in South Melbourne Beach because I will be radioactive.
Yeah, let's not do South.
All right, we'll put it on the list. Swim in beaches. It could even just be 1 point. Go
Yeah.
for a swim at a Melbourne beach.
Yeah, I like that.
Notice I
that.
didn't put Williamstown on that list because that would be easy. I've already got 10 points.
I would say you'd have to do it from the time. That wouldn't count if you'd already done it.
Part of my routine as an old man. I do the same thing every weekend. I reckon hit us with another train one.
Train one.
I reckon we
think
can
something to
do
with
we can do
late
4 more this
trains
time.
that are being late.
Trains.
So maybe stay at a station
Yeah.
for a long amount of time without catching a train.
Okay.
That's a bit boring. I don't like that one.
That is very boring. I'm glad you self-edited on
Yeah,
that
I self-edited on that one as I said it.
I've got one actually. A train that comes before the scheduled time.
Ooh.
So if the train's scheduled at 5:31 and it comes at 5:30, ticked it off because it will never happen. If
Yeah.
you do, that's like a rarity. That's like I was going to go for a Pokemon reference, but I don't actually know anything about. That's
No,
the
go for it.
Golden
Try again.
Charizard. It's the
Golden
Golden
Charizard.
Charizard.
That's
a train,
close enough.
a
I'll give
train
it
that
to you.
comes on time. Okay.
I like that
No,
one.
early. A train that comes early. And it can't be like at Flinders Street Station because they all come early, but like a suburban station and it comes on time.
Okay.
Before.
I've got another one.
Yeah.
This one's called
That's a
the
good one.
TV camera track down.
Okay.
I think
Oh, that's not
take
bad.
a photo of you
Yeah.
and then or take a photo of you
I like this.
in the background
Is
like
a TV camera.
TV camera.
That's
like
good.
Someone being interviewed or
Yeah.
something like that.
Instantly what I thought, where were we? Was it the footy or something? And we were sitting behind the camera because we were sitting on the wings and the guy had the camera and
Yeah,
they were
true.
filming the panning shot.
I guess I would count that. Yeah.
It's actually difficult to actually get that close because you can't be a dickhead. If you're sitting at the back, you can't come and walk down the front in front of all
Yeah,
of it or
for
whatever.
sure.
So it's a time and a
or
place.
if you're walking somewhere and you see a news crew and you can take a photo
Yeah.
of you with a news crew.
I like that. That's
like
good.
that. I would count that.
That's very good actually.
I think
like
the
that
idea
one.
is ultimately whoever has the most amount of squares ticked, right?
Yeah,
At the
we're
end.
not going to do like a
line.
bingo in a line. I think maybe an extra point if you get them all in a line, and then that can end up. Say if there's 20 squares.
I just think we just do cumulative.
Okay, accumulative is good. Accumulative,
So
it's like a
who's got-
checklist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
can
yeah.
do the most things?
We call
off
it
the-
bingo, but we don't make
Yeah,
a bingo
no.
card. I like this.
Who's got the most amount of things off the list? It's bingo. It's still bingo because bingo can be a whole card worth of bingo,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it can. Yeah, there's probably some variation. We'll ask Doris or something.
Oh, Dolores. Dolores is sitting over
All
there.
right. Do you have another one, or do you want me to go in
for
with
it.
one? I'm going to say eat something at like a pub or a restaurant with a Melbourneism in the name. So it's going to be like if you're at a pub and they've got like the St Kilda sandwich or something like that. So I'm going to disallow the mighty Melbourne burger from Grilled.
I agree.
Because every city they're in,
I'd
they
also
have one like that.
I'd also think anytime, even if it just says
Fast food chains are out.
Parma doesn't count as a
No,
Melbourneism.
I'm going to say you're at a restaurant or a cafe. It's not a chain. It's just a natural thing. And on the menu, there's a Melbourneism in the menu item. Like,
you have a cafe in mind, don't you?
I don't actually.
Really?
I don't know one. No.
I'm trying to think.
What
of
made
one.
me think of it was the mighty Melbourne at Grilled.
That's a good one.
That's why I'm
actually.
disallowing fast food chains.
That's a good one.
All right. So what are we going to call it? Melbourneism on a menu.
Melbourneism on a menu.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
That's a podcast name
That's
right
a
there.
podcast name.
All right. I
If
reckon we
I've
do
ever heard
2
one.
more this episode. Yep.
I've got one to do with another public transport one.
Okay.
I think you should have to try and get the most southern point you can via southern via truck.
You having a stroke?
Yes, I am.
Do I need to get
the most southern point
defibrillator?
possible via public transport.
We'll have to figure out what the southern point is, but I like that. I like that a lot. Can I do 2?
Okay.
Northern and southern.
Northern's good as well.
As far north in Melbourne and as far south on public transport.
What are we counting as public transport? Are we counting V lines?
Yep, the lines are going to count in there.
Lines?
It has to
Lines
be
count.
trains, trams, or buses,
Venus.
or lime scooters.
Should north and south be two separately?
Yeah, two separate
Yeah.
separate squares. So should we do furthest in every compass direction?
I like that.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Furthest in most compass directions. via
north, south,
public
east, or west.
transport.
And
Yeah.
the point we measure from is the GPO.
Yeah,
That's the centre of Melbourne.
yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
fucks me off when people are like, oh, Warrandyte's not north. It's above the GPO, so it's northeast.
Do you want to
But
explain to someone what the GPO is?
the General Post Office. So it's like the centre of Melbourne, where Melbourne is essentially like 0 in
Yeah.
Melbourne. That's the middle. It's in the city. It's on Burke Street, I think, Collins Street.
Talk about it.
For reasons that are disclosed.
We would never.
I have a friend of mine. Anyway, furthest in any direction. That's actually a really
We've
good
got a
one.
lot. How many have we got so far?
We
on
got
the
9.
list?
Do you have a
9.
final one for 10?
Yeah.
Because I've got one, but I don't think it's great to end on.
I don't have a great one to end on either.
Okay, we'll each do one more, and we
I just
decide
had to have
which
take
one
a
goes on the
photo.
list.
Take a photo of of you with an iconic building.
Okay, can I merge this one? Because
Yeah.
I think that's boring. Take a photo with a greyhound.
I just think that's
Okay, add 2. Iconic building and most greyhound photos.
Most
so every
greyhound
time you see a
photos.
greyhound, you
have to
take,
take
a
a
photo
photo.
of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's
okay.
actually really good.
Most greyhound photos and
Most iconic building wins. So
Okay, yeah,
we
I like
find
that.
what we think is the most iconic, and then we'll get 5 people to judge which they think is the
do
most
we have
iconic.
5 people?
No, but we'll
We'll fight.
cross that bridge when we get there.
We'll get a jury
Yeah.
for this.
I can ask some people from the UK that I work with to weigh in because if something's really iconic, it may have worked like overseas, and
That's
they
a good
might know
point,
it as well.
actually. Yeah.
I know. I work
I
with
like
an
that.
American and the UK, so that could
I
work.
have friend. I was gonna pull in some people from America as well.
Great.
I don't think iconic. There is stuff that's iconic to Melbourne that wouldn't be iconic from outside.
I reckon the most it's got to be
standoutish.
standout thing. Yeah. They could have travelled like a draw card.
So we have to
item thing.
choose one.
Yeah.
right? We each choose one specific one.
That's right. And I think it can't be like Luna Park or something. I think it also has to have Melbourne significance as well. Like people in Melbourne go, oh, that's a beautiful, iconic building.
you
or
don't count
something.
Luna Park or something up from Melbourne
I reckon it's got to be both iconic to Melbourne people
and in Melbourne City.
Yeah. I reckon.
What are we counting? Are we counting just like the main area of
I
Melbourne
reckon the
Central?
Hoddle Grid. Do you want to do the
Hoddle
Hoddle
Grid?
Grid?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So iconic building.
and then most greyhound photos.
Yeah, in the Hoddle
I like
Grid.
most greyhound photos. That's a nice
Yeah.
one. I want to take as many greyhound photos as I can.
And if you get caught, that picture doesn't count.
What do you count? What do you mean by caught?
If someone goes, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
But I reckon you can approach someone and be like, oh, I love your dog. Can I take a photo?
Oh yeah, I love that
Yeah.
actually.
I'll put it on my wall and read it. All right, that's great. I'll quickly run through what
Go
we've
for it.
got. So we've got Order of Magic in DeGrave Street.
Yep.
Most number of laps accumulative of the city loop
Yep.
on the train. Ask someone if the star is going to open or when it's going to open. Ask someone in Hozier Lane about where a certain artwork is
Yep.
or tell them something that doesn't exist. Swim in a certain number of Melbourne beaches. Your train comes before the scheduled time at a suburban train station. Take a selfie with a TV camera. find an item at a pub or restaurant or cafe with a Melbourneism. Go the furthest in any direction on public transport. So if say we both go to far north, whoever gets the furthest gets a point.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
and then it adds up for all the directions that we've been.
Also, we're doing... So you would add north plus south plus east.
I reckon if you do 3 and I do 4, you could still win because you might have gone further in all your 3 than my 4.
Okay, I like that.
So I like the things where you don't necessarily know who's winning, but you can kind of hedge your bets a little bit. Yeah, I'm a professional broadcaster.
Never would.
Get the most photos of greyhounds. If we lived in Brunswick, this would be good. I live in an area where there's only cavoodles, and you live still in a North Melbourne.
I live pretty damn close. Yeah. I could probably find some
I've not seen a greyhound for months. I'm having withdrawals.
I love greyhounds.
That's fantastic. I reckon we do this another couple of weeks. And
I've actually one other idea I've just thought of.
I'm ready.
Last minute.
Yeah.
It has to do with the graffiti one, because I think we could do something to do with lying to
that you did it,
lying to a friend, lying to
you'd be good at that.
Well, for lying
I can't
about
lie.
something specific to Melbourne, about someone who hasn't been to Melbourne.
Oh, yep. I like that. Convince a foreigner.
That sounds bad, but what we're really going to
convince a non-Melburnian.
Yeah, convince a non-Melburnian
about something Australian.
That's something.
It has to be Melbourne.
Yeah. Something about Melbourne.
Something vaguely Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Done.
Next slide.
Roses are red. I missed out on Harry Styles ticks. That was episode 56
of the Comedian Islands. I did miss out on Harry Styles tickets. I didn't try to get them. I didn't know he was coming in. Honestly, I didn't even really want to go.
Neither.
What I was sad about was Ed Sheeran. That would have been good.
I expected you were going to go.
He's coming out with a new album, and I'm excited.
Is it another maths-based album?
Subtract. Get ready for the classic Ed Sheeran joke. You ready? Yep. This is a good one. Can't wait for him to bring it square root. Oh, standard deviation. Not bad. You know what?
What?
I've come up with a brave idea.
Okay.
Reviews first. Recommendations first off, and then we'll run through. Look at this live brainstorming.
What do you got?
So we've done TV.
We have.
We've done film.
We have.
We've done music.
We have.
We've done Ween. I'm putting Ween in its separate category. I've got a podcast.
Yes.
This may surprise you. Podcasts are my favorite kind of media to consume.
I can go here or there on them. I'm not sure.
I wouldn't like it enough to ever do one, but I'm a heavy consumer of podcasts.
You are.
Because what do I do all day? I just listen to podcasts while I'm saving the world, right?
Sure.
That's what you got to do. You got to get it done.
Yeah.
One that I've been listening to a lot lately is one that even you would have seen this come up on social media.
Okay.
It's Tony and Ryan podcast.
Yes, I have heard of this one. You were reading their book.
I read her book. That's right. I'm well into the ecosystem.
Wow.
Like, it's time to share with other people. How people probably would have seen this, about October last year, what they did is Ryan John, he's one of the guys.
Yeah.
He worked on Kiss as like a midday presenter, right?
Right, yeah.
And she, Tony Lodge, she worked as a producer on the Jason PJ show.
Oh, yeah.
So they're both in the radio realm, but they're like, Tony wanted to be like an on-air presenter. So they made a demo tape, and she asked Ryan to be someone just for her to bounce off. The clips were so funny, they put them on TikTok, and everyone's like, where can I watch the full podcast? Because it looked like a podcast. And they're like, fuck, we should capitalize on this.
And then you just started the podcast.
They just started the podcast.
That's amazing.
So because it happened accidentally and organically, it was kind of a little bit chaotic at the start, but it's so like real. It's not like two people who have been put together.
True.
So it's the one Spotify exclusive that I think is okay because it accidentally happened. It wasn't Spotify putting them together.
I love it.
So it's a high budget show that's actually good. Highly recommend.
Great. Jono, what I've got today, we've done...
Ween. If you do Ween, I'm actually not recording next episode, and that's a promise.
I'm not doing Ween.
Yeah.
I've done, what have we done? Movies, we've done TV shows, we've done albums.
Even podcasts.
We've done podcasts. We haven't done a YouTube channel.
We haven't done a YouTube channel. Are you a YouTube kid? You seem like an iPad kid to me.
I like a bit of
You seem like
someone
who would watch their iPad at family dinner while eating their chicken schnitzel.
I'm really not. My suggestion to everyone is, if you haven't seen him, NPR Tiny Desk. concerts.
they're really good.
They are so
really
good.
Olivia Rodrigo did one
Yeah,
inside
that's a good one.
like a Vic Roads type office.
I like that one a lot.
That was fantastic.
There's a lot of good ones.
What are they
Basically, they're
aware.
concerts held by this radio station in America called NPR.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of people playing a bunch of different songs that they.
But it's always in like a cramped environment.
Yeah, because it's a tiny desk.
It's a tiny desk. Yeah,
it's really good.
The lockdown ones were shit house.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
But the ones that have come out, so the last 2 years,
I'll throw out a couple
are
ones that
good.
I really like. The Tyler the Creator one's really good.
I watched that one. I did enjoy that one.
And
because they're more intimate and calm. Yeah.
And the one, I think this one was a lockdown one, but I really like a lot of the ones that are from musicals are quite good as well.
Oh, I've not watched
so
the
there's
music
one
ones.
from Hadestown. If you like Hadestown,
Never heard of Lazy Town. What?
Hadestown and
is there like a Hamilton one?
I don't think there's a Hamilton
Greatest
one.
Showman?
No.
I was trying to derail you.
Yeah, you would. And what's that other one?
Any musicals that people actually know?
Yeah, hey, if you like musicals, you'll know Hadestown. Yeah, they have Lion King. There's a Lion King one.
That'd be sick.
That's a really good
like
one.
the whole cast and stuff, or like
Yeah,
select
it's a bunch,
couple people.
well, it's not like the people from the Disney show.
Yeah, fuck
it's
that.
from the people from
That's actually really cool. I like
See,
that.
it's really good. Yeah,
That's a great
my
recommendation.
suggestion.
Great. Got that out of the way. Now, today was a huge show.
It really was.
It's been a fucking crazy show.
We've had a great one.
We've recorded for over an hour because it's Saturday morning.
We're just going on and on and on and on.
But I hope you've enjoyed it. We kicked off. I talked about meal kit delivery
You
services and how I'm very happy that
And we rated them.
from this week on I don't have to deal with that
Thank
shit
God.
anymore.
After that, Jono, we did some fun. We talked about fun facts about bugs, and we learned that sometimes they're not that fun.
I love any chance to talk about the Waggle Dance. I'm not gonna.
I love the Waggle Dance so
Waggle
much.
Dance was great.
We knew what we already we learnt something we already knew.
And that
You're
was
an old
great.
man.
I'm an old man. And that's all you need to know about that. I'm old. I knew I was going to be old. I didn't expect my old rating to be so high, to be honest.
No, you only just break out of it. It's only 3 points above 35.
That's true. Do I have a chance to get below?
You know what? We can reassess you later.
Yeah, that's actually
But
good.
I'm gonna have to see some on purpose. You have to do a lot of work to that.
That's all right. I'll have time to come up with another criteria
And one
after
way
I
you
see
might
to
be
my
able to
13
find
investment
that is
properties.
through Melbourne Bingo.
Oh,
we
absolutely.
got started on that. That was lovely.
That was good. I'm excited about this. Please send us in. I said the other day, talk about your favorite meal. Fuck that. Send us your Melbourne Bingo ideas. I'll put an Instagram thing where people can type.
I love it.
That's
Good
actually
idea.
really good.
That's a good one.
Sorry. Pete will put up an Instagram thing
No,
when he gets back from
no.
golf.
He's just
he'll
always
put
on
that
the
up
golf
there.
course.
He loves it, the big fella.
He's just going on and on. I sent him the video this morning when I was coming in.
Yeah, did you?
That was nice.
Oh, good on Pete.
Good on Pete.
Anyway, can you hear that?
Sure can.
That's me telling Josh every episode to press the close.
I was ready to do it and then you said it. I got too much into the bit.
Yeah, it's great. We
Check
actually
us
have
out-
time at the end. Yeah,
See us
chuck us a
Insta.
thing.
Go
Do
on
that.
our website,
Play golf.
comedians.com. See ya.
Bye.